Connecting. All right. Welcome to the Fixed Wireless Access Show. Tasking on the rooftops. No digging, no downtime, just pure performance. Proven daily on the ground. Yeah, it's time for Fixed Wireless Fiber. Get on it, people. Get on it. You need it. Even if you don't think you need it, that's when you need it the most. You know? It's like, no, I don't need to lose weight. Oh, if you're saying that, you absolutely do. Come on, please, people. That's like 101. Listen, sometimes you get a lion that eats your fiber optic because it's underground. Or sometimes there's a backhoe that eats your fiber because it's underground. Other times you get a cat. You're probably your next door neighbor's cat. Because do you own a cat? I don't own a cat. I'm allergic to cats. Ugh, I don't like cats. I can't. Cats and me, they love me, but I'm deadly allergic. I start sneezing and wheezing. Ugh. Fixed wireless fiber. Oh, isn't that so calming and soothing? It's the ultimate connectivity solution. It's so pure. It's so pure. You don't have to dig. You know, if you're worried about your carbon footprint, you don't have to roll a truck. You don't have to get a backhoe. This is what it looks like on a rooftop as an example. Not all the installs look like this, but some do. These are non-penetrating mounts. Get your head out of the gutter. These are wind load analysis of hundreds of mile-an-hour winds. These are sustainable, hundreds of miles an hour. That is just what it is. It's incredible. It's installed within as little as 5 business days. No digging, no downtime, just pure performance proven daily. Look, does this look like a reliable business class connection that can sustain your company? No, absolutely not. It can't. It's relying on a cellular antenna on a tower. And guess what? Guess what's backhauling? It's called backhaul. Guess what's backhauling your speed on your cell phone on that tower? Yeah, if you're thinking it's fixed wireless fiber. Oh, my phone is buzzing. That's the ICQ chat. I know you can't hear it, but I can hear it pretty clearly. Who remembers ICQ? Come on. ICQ, amazing. I wish I remember my ICQ handle. I think it was 91656. Imagine if I remember my password, 91656. That's crazy. That's how young and spry I am. Look, this is from Verizon. This is they're pushing this as 5G fixed wireless. Please, this is a crock of, what do you do when you go horse riding? You have to tack your horse, and then after you're done riding, you got to clean up all the doo-doo on the floor. This is what this is. This is a hot spot. Use your cell phone. Save yourself some money. Don't waste your money on that stuff. Look, there are all these things. I'm going to keep repeating myself. Fixed wireless fiber is not what you're seeing on your screen. This is LTE 5G best effort. Connects to a tower. Listen, if you like the look, Vintage Frames Company people. Look, this is best effort. These are quad band, dual SIM card, eSIM, micro SIM, regular SIM. All SIMs rely on a cellular network, and that's just a fact. Look, there's a wonderful company out there, 22 years in the business, no digging, no downtime, just pure performance, proven daily on the ground with fixed wireless fiber. Customers understand it. They love it. They use it. It's, no one wants to hear that during the day. If you're hearing this, if you're hearing that during the day, something's wrong. Something's wrong. You don't have fixed wireless fiber, I'll tell you. That's what's wrong. That is absolutely what's wrong. Maybe you have an event, a high-profile event that has to get done, and it can't break. You need perfection. You need pure perfection. No downtime. You have 45 minutes of live show. You spend 2 weeks building your set, your stage. Everyone's there. Let me ask you a question. Are you going to use a best effort connection? Are you going to use a satellite connection for your live event where you have 100,000 people on site and you have 5 million people watching online, are you going to use a satellite connection? Wait, are you going to use a best effort Fios connection? Oh, wait, are you going to use a cable connection from your local cable company? No, you're not. You're absolutely never going to use any of those connections. Why? Because I said that they are best efforts. They rely on the mercy of whoever else is using the network at that same time. The answer, the solution to this is fixed wireless fiber. You get a dedicated, ultra low latency connection. If you're in an airport, if you're in a high-rise commercial building and you have no cell service, because new buildings these days have what's called low E glass. Maybe my next segment should be about low E glass. Low E glass reflects out all of the harmful UV rays from the sun, but it also reflects out all radio frequencies from entering the building. And guess what? Our phones need radio frequencies to connect to cell towers nearby. And if your phone can't get out the window, you don't have service. You know, and it's interesting we're talking about that because a lot of carriers in the past were deploying DAS, which is called a distributed antenna system in commercial buildings, big buildings, big buildings. And they were paying for it. They were paying to do the build outs, which is no small feat. And then all of a sudden, they just stopped doing it. They stopped paying for build outs for DAS systems in commercial buildings. Why? I don't know. Maybe they focused on their rollout of the next evolution of LTE, which is 5G. But anyways, going back to the low E glass, if your building is new and has low E glass, and you're going to get someone's trying to sell you the benefits of a 5G fixed wireless connection like that you see on your screen, or like this, they're not going to work. They're absolutely not going to work. Totally not going to work. Or maybe they will work, and the carrier, whoever sold it to you, says, hey, customer, why don't you plug in your internet connection so you can use this device and get better cell service? Now, you got to ask yourself a question. Are they paying me to use my internet connection so I can have better cell phone, so I can have cell phone coverage and data service? Are they paying me to use my internet? No, they're not paying you. So you have to imagine you as a customer are actually paying the mobile provider. You're paying them to use your connection. Think about that. Think how nuts this is. Because the carriers have not upgraded the last mile. Again, they're basing a lot of this. Yeah, they're rolling out fiber in a lot of places, but these devices, someone told me they were offered an LTE network extender for their house because they, A, sometimes don't receive any calls, B, get drop calls every time they pick up the phone. So what does this carrier say? It was Verizon. What does the Verizon say? They say, hey, we're going to send you a LTE network extender. By the way, Samsung makes an LTE network extender they use. Yes, you qualify for it. It's no charge. Ask yourself, why do I qualify for a free network extender that should cost like $250? Well, it's because the carriers know there's no cell service in your area and they're not planning to fix it. So they're going to give you this device. And guess what? The carrier is going to use your internet connection to let you connect to their network. Think about that. And they're not even going to pay you to use it. They're going to still insist that you pay them every month. They're not even going to give you a discount. That's nuts. So yes, I unplugged mine. It's sitting in cold storage. I put it under the do not use pile of tech gear. But what I did do in my home is I went on the roof, installed a proper cell booster. I think I have a Nextivity, sure call. I can't remember what I put up on the roof, but it goes directly to a tower. So I'm not paying my mobile provider to use my own connection. It rubbed me the wrong way. As you can see, I get pretty frustrated. Anyway, let's get back on topic here. Built in the air, proven on the ground, fixed wireless fiber. Let's take a look at this. Look at this.
1 gigabit per
Oh, yeah.
second.
Oh, yeah.
Ultra low latency.
That's where it's at.
Per second,
That's where it's at.
low latency.
Don't want to fall off here because we're pretty high up.
It's really high up. And it is ultra low latency. It totally is. Totally. And one thing you always have to remember, redundancy is not the same thing as diversity. Redundancy is not the same as diversity. I gotta add some new pictures here and show what I mean by redundancy isn't the same as diversity. Diversity is mission critical. Has anyone followed the news lately? A lot of big agencies, government agencies, have been suffering from having too much redundancy and not enough diversity when it comes to connectivity, not anything else. Don't put your head in that space. When I talk to you, it's about connectivity. It's about internet service. Imagine you can't connect to the internet. You can't use your AI. You can't access your email. You can't access if you do TikTok. TikTok, I can't even get. I uninstalled TikTok after I read their terms and conditions. You should read their terms and conditions. They have access to everything in your phone. You should delete. Anyway, wonderful product, but it's not made for everybody. Here we go. We're doing an event. It's live, and then the internet goes out. But I have a 5G fixed wireless connection. I have 2 5G fixed wireless connections I got from this trade show, this company out there, and they told me that it's going to work. It's going to be able to power my whole event if my best effort cable goes down. Wrong. What was sent to you was a crate like that. This is all running off a cellular network. If a feed line goes down, a coax connection, anything like that goes down, everyone is going to use a cell phone to connect to say, hey, I have a backup, my own backup. I'm going to use my cell phone because my cable's out. But guess what? Cellular networks are not built to support that demand. They're not. Cellular networks are built to support a certain amount of users simultaneously. Anything over and above that, the same thing happens when you redline a car. It explodes, or it just sits there and goes. You've all redlined a car before. If you haven't, you should try it and see what happens. Then you'll understand what I mean by that. With that being said, oh, here we go. Let's go. Yeah. It is true. It is a playoff time for NHL, for all those NHL fans. Look. Check this video out. This is a manhole fire. This is a real manhole fire. So when you hear, I have redundant fiber connections underground. I have 4 different fiber connections underground. And I have a satellite connection to back up my 4 underground fibers. That whoever that IT person is, whoever that said that to you, they need to be educated. Help them be educated. Let them know. You need diversity. A satellite connection. Yeah, if you lived in Alaska, it's a good option. If you're doing basic web browsing and basic scrolling on your phone, that's fine. A satellite connection is fine. But if you're running an office, an enterprise, a satellite connection ain't going to do it. It's best effort. What's going to happen when it gets cloudy? What happens when it rains? What happens if there's a storm? It's not going to work. I don't care if you have the newest cutting edge technology. Low Earth orbit. There's a company out there called what was it called? It's like it's on the tip of my tongue. I don't know, but Apple bought it. Low Earth orbit satellites. Oh my God, I have a sat phone with them. It's cool. The new stuff that Starlink has, that's cool. It's cool tech. Again, it's a tool in a toolkit. It's not meant to be a be-all, end-all savior, going to be able to push gig speeds reliably. It's not meant for that. It was never meant for that. Where you're going to see a huge adoption, you're going to see a huge adoption for Starlink stuff, where there's no options for internet, whether it's a, up-and-coming third world country. Some of those biggest markets are prime targets for Starlink, and amazing. They're going to be able to connect millions of people. But, North America, it's okay for a tertiary connection, but as a primary or even secondary, I would look at other things. Be educated, make an educated decision yourself. Don't let me tell you what to do. Look, check out this cool picture. What is that? That looks like a bird with wings. Is that what it's supposed to look like? Yeah, that looks really cool. I just want to share that picture. So, that said, you know what it's time for, right? I'll tell you what it's time for. It's time to go sell something. Oh yeah, go sell something. Why are you still here? Come on now. Come on. Stop procrastinating. Go do it. Yeah, drop it like it's hot. Go on now.